Don't you find it annoying when a YouTuber has a clickbaity title like, you would never believe what happened to Greta Thunberg? And you're clicking, right? And that information takes 5 seconds to say, but the video is like 25 minutes long. And you're watching and the guy just keeps talking and talking and talking. And you just do not know when he is going to address the subject in the video title. And towards the end, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, she's got coronavirus. No, legitimately, like she. But anyway, right, so I will do the opposite. First of all, I'll tell you why YouTubers do that, right? It's because of the algorithm. You're incentivized to make videos that are 10 minutes long, and sometimes you just don't have something to talk about, so you're just going to go blah, 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 and you're going to bore everyone. Not really a good look. So I am going to be good guy Greg. I will tell you in the beginning, right now, first minute, why Half-Life 3 didn't happen and why Valve cannot count to 3. So according to Gabe Newell, he said something that Blizzard should learn a lesson from. They don't want to just put out Half-Life titles for the sake of it. I was like, oh, respect. Muy respect. Like, look what they do to World of Warcraft. Every year they need to shite out another expansion. Whether people want it or not. Like the last expansion that they're putting out for World of Warcraft, and they're charging people money with it. It doesn't bring that much to the table. Like, you can just make content patches and release new zones with a couple of raids without having to do the new expansion for World of Warcraft. The only reason they do it is because they know people just give money. But this waters down the IP. It waters down the game. The new expansion doesn't have any new classes, doesn't have any new races, doesn't have like literally anything. It's just like there to milk people of their money. World of Warcraft is a money milking machine, honestly. Blizzard should be happy that the mother of idiots is always pregnant. And again, I mentioned, like, if you're a Saudi prince and you're still paying subscription for World of Warcraft, then I understand, because you have a lot of cash, but for everyone else. But anyway, right, that's not about World of Warcraft. So that was like the first reason. They do not want to just push out Half-Life titles, and that's a good thing, because it waters down the game the same way like Assassin's Creed happened, every year, another Assassin's Creed game, whether you want it or not. The other reason was that they wanted to make a new game engine. So when they released Half-Life 2, they created an entire new engine for that game. And by the way, the engine was amazing at the time. If you guys remember, back then, most first-person shooters just had static objects in the environment. You couldn't move or push or do anything. And for the first time ever, you get to see that in Half-Life 2, almost everything around you is interactable. That was mind-blowing at the time. And the Source engine was also really great when it came to gravity and figuring out how different objects fall at different speeds. So they created a new engine for Half-Life 2. Now, the Source 2 engine came out in 2015, and that's when they considered making a new Half-Life game. And they went with the VR experience. And I think like this is part of Valve's new business strategy, because when you have a new thing on the market like virtual reality, a lot of people are reluctant to buy it because there are no cool games for it. And that was like my issue with it. There's two main problems with VR. So for those of you who never used a VR headset, I want to tell you that the experience is absolutely mind-blowing. Like it is one of the best ways to enjoy video games that I have ever experienced. However, when you're in a car and you get car sickness, some of you do, or when you're on a boat and you get seasickness, what happens is that your internal ear realizes that you're moving, but your eyes notice that you're standing still. So this disconnect is causing the nausea. And with VR, it's the exact opposite. Your eyes are telling you that you're moving around, while your internal ear is telling you that you're standing still. And this is what causes nausea. So a lot of people, they buy a VR headset or they try it with a friend, they put it a little bit, and then they get sick. And they don't want to play anymore because it's not a very pleasant experience. What you need to do, there are a couple of things which can help with this. And this is like training, okay? First time you play a game, you play it for 5 minutes. The second time you play it for 6, so on and so forth. And eventually you train yourself and you don't feel the sickness at all anymore. A couple of tricks that you can do is to chew gum. This actually works. There is some medicine which you can take. You go to a pharmacy and you ask for motion sickness medicine. That actually does help. And try to ease yourself into the experience. Like play some games, some VR games where you're standing still. There are a couple of them before you jump into more elaborate games. Like Resident Evil 7 is a really good VR game. Robinson VR is an excellent one. Batman Arkham Asylum is really good. So Half-Life, the new Half-Life Alyx that's coming out for the VR. A lot of people say that it's really good. It's amazing. I personally haven't played it because I only owned a PlayStation VR. It was the cheapest one that I can buy, so I don't have a Steam VR. But what's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to buy the Steam VR, and then they're going to purchase other games on Steam that also requires virtual reality. So Valve is going to make a lot of money. Like this, I think it's a purposefully strategic business decision in order to incentivize developers to create more VR games and to have like more transactions on Steam. This is just brilliant for them. And they can also now create other games. You know, like I don't think they're going to make Portal VR because that's really bleh. The nausea and just moving from portal to portal is going to get a lot of people to hurl. But Left 4 Dead VR, they can definitely do that. And again, the more games that are coming up, the more better the graphics, the better the engine and whatnot. One of my main complaints with VR is that there's like 4 or 5 games that are really good and they're just amazing experiences, but they're very short and they're not that many games. Like outside of those 4 or 5, the rest of the games are really bad. So yeah, I'm really interested in how Half-Life Alyx is. Like if you have played it, tell me in the comments section. I don't have the money to buy a new VR right now. Trying to upgrade my computer first. I don't think my computer can handle a VR headset. But yeah, in the future, I'm definitely planning to buy it. I'm a really big Half-Life fan. Like, I remember back in the day when I would go to this internet cafe to play with friends, and there were only 6 computers that weren't connected to the internet. It was called an internet cafe, but it didn't have internet. And back then you had LAN, so it was like local area network, which you could play with other people. That was the only way to play multiplayer back then. Unless you had like dial-up, but even then like the connection was really slow. So the only proper way to play a multiplayer game was through local area network. And it was like this place that had only 6 computers, and we were playing multiplayer, and I remember like whenever a guy would get upset, there was like the front end computer, which was really close to the powering cables, and if you were to slam your fist really hard into the desk, it would cause all the computers to reset. So what that guy would do is like he would lose and he would get angry and just bang, he would just smash the table, and like everyone would just have their computers reset and everyone was starting to curse and say vile things. It was really funny. And I also remember like back then, another thing that a lot of people did was to create a LAN party. And we would get everyone into my house and we would just like, there were like tons of wires in it. Everyone had their own personal computer. I had like 4 or 5 friends and we all created like in this room, just this massive network. It was burning hot as well because all the computers would radiate heat. And when all of it was over and we would get the electrical bill, I remember my mother was like looking at the electrical bill like, you know, when you play high stakes poker and you're like slowly moving the cards away in order to see what you get like that. That's how my mother would look at the electrical bill after I would do a LAN party. That's how DreamHack got famous as well. It was like another place where, in Sweden I believe, where a lot of gamers would just bring their own personal computers in order to create like these massive LANs because, yes, internet existed, but you would get like massive lag on the internet. And it's really interesting to see how far technology has come up since then. So yeah, I'm, you know, like this brings back a lot of memories when talking about Half-Life. I'm really glad they didn't just shit out episodes after episodes because it would have just watered down the IP. Like, whenever I think about Diablo, I think about Diablo 3, and that leaves just a really bad taste in my mouth. Instead of just remembering the positive things of Diablo 1 and 2, I am Akara, High Priestess of the Sanctless Eye. We welcome you, traveler, to our camp. There is a place of great evil. Why do I know these things? Why do I know these things? I'm weird. I know. But anyway, tell me in the comments section if you enjoy Half-Life Alyx and if it's really as good as they claim it is. Because I've seen a lot of people in the media hyping it up, but you know, people in the media and people in the media, so what do I know? I'm really hyped. I hope in the future I can afford the VR headset so I can play this game, because it's just, yeah. But I'll see you all on my live stream now, because I'm going to go live streaming, yay.